Next up is Emilia Leese. Emilia was a student at Rutgers Law School in the 1990s. She did not take a course from me. I never wanted to ask why, because I thought it would be an awkward moment. Nevertheless, I mean, in certain ways it doesn't really matter, because she's now come around to truth. And you know, in many ways, I have to respect her for the fact that, you know, she's come around even though she didn't have me as a teacher. But and she's a lawyer. She is an American, but she lives in London, and she's terrific. She has been very, very helpful. She's a font of endless. When I have an idea, I know nothing about technology. She knows a lot about it. So whenever I have a technical question, she's my sort of go-to person, and she's always helpful, and she has helped me in coming up with a lot of ideas to promote abolitionist veganism. So Emilia, please come talk to us.
Hi everybody, how's it going? Woo! Excellent, excellent. I'm just going to build a bit on what my colleagues have said. And I'm going to focus on two things. The first thing is keeping it simple, and the second thing is identifying issues. What do I mean by that? Keep it simple, pretty obvious. Be prepared, know the types of things that you want to say. Understand the philosophy, understand how it makes you feel and why you are vegan. And then when you convey that to somebody, keep it short. In the initial conversation, of course, you'll always go into detail after, but when you're having these quick conversations, keep it simple. Keep it simple, go short, later, go long. And identifying issues, what do I mean by that? A lot of times we get these questions, we get these, people come up to us and say, well, you know, this and that and the other thing, and they create this great big problem that they sort of hand over to you. Pick it apart. Pick it apart, remember to keep it simple, pick it apart, step back and identify the issues. Focus first on veganism as a moral baseline, and then you can address the other issues. Let me give you two quick examples. One of the examples I'll give you, I wrote a piece about it on Advocacy, actually, somewhat recently. And it's when people conflate the issue of poverty and veganism. And they're separate issues. Of course, they are interrelated and you can address them both. But address veganism first, and then let's talk about poverty and what that means and what we must do as vegan advocates in relation to both of those issues. The other, for example, is when people say, oh, well, this is my journey, and this is about me, and so on and so forth. Again, step back. Bring it back to veganism. Bring it back. Use the core of veganism. Use the animals as your center. Pinpoint your advocacy on that idea, and always remember them first, and then address everything else. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. It's not about me, it's not about anybody else, it's about them. And of course, everything it emanates from there, and it's sort of like a wheel. And keep that in mind. And you will have very effective conversations, and also people will feel a lot more less confused and less anxious, because they will see the issues as separate, and they'll be able to say, okay, I get it now. I can look at everything and I can see things clearly, and I don't have to feel so overwhelmed, because we know it is overwhelming sometimes in what we face in the world and what we think about, and with all the issues that we are faced with. So those are my two big things, and that's actually what I do. Whenever I try to talk to somebody, or whenever I have a piece to write, I think about that. Identify the issues, and I try to keep it simple. And one more personal quick note, if you see me leaving the stage, it's not personal, I have a flight to catch. Thank you very much.
I should have mentioned that Eat Like You Care is in 12 or 13 languages now, and she translated the Italian, the whole thing. I mean, she translated the Italian.